Hey there, I'm Cheryl Stair, and I am about to do something that I've only discussed with clients and friends and people here and there on Facebook, okay? So, well, actually, I wrote a book, right? And it's called Anxiety for the Spiritual Being. And that is exactly where I'm going to go with this. So if you don't believe that you are a spiritual being, then you might want to skip this video and just go to the other ones where I give you practical tips that you can use right now. But here's my view. We are so much more than a person walking around, okay? We live on a planet. We live on a planet that is part of a solar system, that is part of a universe, that the only information we have right now at this point is the information that we've found and labeled, okay? We don't have anything beyond that. There is no machine today as of Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018 at 11:22 a.m. that I am aware of that exist, that can be hooked up to a person, that can accurately say what emotions a person is feeling, how intense those feelings are, and what's happening within them because of those emotions. Do we have things where we can see different parts of the brain light up? Yes, we have that, but they do not track like the feeling part of it, okay? So I also know we are energy. We transfer our energy from one person to another. There are people, and you've probably experienced this, and for me, I don't understand how we could deny this to be true. You can be in the best mood and you walk into a place and somebody else is very upset or angry or depressed, and you feel your mood decline. And then you start to get tired and you start yawning. Yeah, all of your energy is like being sucked out. This happens, okay? There are, how do people like Tony Robbins make millions of dollars? It is his energy and the words he chooses. Those words cause us to feel something, which triggers us inside. This feels good. I want more of it. We want more of what? We want more of the energy because it feels good. We've also heard that saying, you could cut the tension with the knife, okay, or with a knife. That is, what is it? What is it? It's something in the air that's so thick that you can feel this thing, okay? To me, all of that says, hey, I am a spiritual being. I feel energy. This is, I just don't know. Okay, so let me move on because I can get into this for hours with people. When it comes to our anxiety, I want you to start tracking something, okay? If you've never heard of a retrograde, I want you to Google that. Go see what a retrograde is. Go see how a retrograde affects people. I can tell you this. I have worked with over 1,000 people who have anxiety, and when a retrograde happens, a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, especially the ones who are just starting to work on their anxiety and they're not exactly aware yet of how just being a being on the planet influences us, will come in or they'll call me or I'll see them or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, even in a lot of the groups that I go into, just to stalk and see like what's happening with people during this time, I will see, they say, I feel like I've done all this work for nothing. All of the sudden it's back. It's so much worse than it was. I don't know what happened, but on this date, my anxiety was way worse than it's ever been, or I actually had a panic attack. And it's usually right around a retrograde. Like that happens, okay? So for women that I put up for tracking your menstruation cycle, there's another component to that. There is also the moon phase, okay? I work with tons of doctors and tons of nurses and a lot of OBs and a lot of delivery technicians. And it's funny because a lot of the hospitals will have additional staff around the time of a full moon. Why is that? If the full moon has absolutely no effect on a human being who is living on a planet that is part of a solar system, that is part of a universe, if it has no impact whatsoever, then why in the world would hospitals that are very science-based, right? Why would they have these additional people on? Why would the ER have additional people? Can we explain that? Because, right, even, and I don't believe in this word, but let's go all the way back through history. The word lunatic, right, to describe somebody who's maybe acting a little bit out of control, or their personality changes, they're more daring, they're just doing something deviant, whatever it is. That word originated thousands of years ago. Luna is the moon. So even then they were saying somehow this big white thing in the sky that glows at nighttime is having an impact on the people. And they came up with that word. Of course, today we use it very negatively, but if we can actually appreciate the word and actually look at the word, how they were observing something, they were observing a behavior change that they found related directly to these moon phases. So why today we deny that the moon has an impact on us, I don't know. I don't know why that is, but what I do know is all of the people that I work with and all the people I work with on a daily basis, and when I go and give workshops and when I speak at conferences and when I come in contact with people, I see it very clearly. Okay, so now it's up to you. I want you to start tracking this as well. Track, when does it feel like your anxiety increases? Is there a relationship to the moon phases? Is there a relationship to the retrogrades? Maybe you have that. Probably, I mean, you probably will, to some degree. It may not be a very intense thing, right? Because that doesn't happen for everybody. Not everybody is like full moon panic attack, full moon horrible anxiety. It doesn't work that way, but it does work that we're kind of like, I feel a little off, or I feel a little different. And depending on where you are in your journey will determine like what happens from there. Okay. So I'm not trying to trigger you. I'm just trying to bring you some awareness so that if, you know, and maybe you'll forget that you watched this, and 2 months from now, you'll be like, oh gosh, something feels off. And you look up and you say, oh my gosh, it's a full moon. That lady said this was going to happen. There you go. Okay. So pay attention. Feel free to leave some comments if you have experienced these changes, or if you have seen somebody else experience these changes. Let me know. All of that information is useful, and when you contribute that information in the comments, you're actually helping somebody who doesn't feel confident enough to speak up right now and doesn't feel like, you know, that's something that they want to disclose, because a lot of people actually hide from other people finding out that they're anxious because they feel like it's some form of weakness. It's not, guys, women. It's not a form of weakness. It is part of being a human person. We experience a lot of things on a daily basis, and we're taking in a lot of information, and we are constantly surrounded by different energies, and all of that has an influence on us, and all of that impacts the way we perceive the world, and it shapes some portion of our reality. Okay, so please feel free to leave a comment. Make sure you look at the playlist. I have other videos. If there's something about anxiety that I haven't covered, let me know and I will be more than happy to put that video up for you. All right, I will see you next time, and don't forget to track those moon phases and your feelings. See you later.